And it's great to, and I will, on the back of Sean's comments, that when you are like-minded people, with like-minded people, then it's good for you to like and comment and share some of these thoughts, some of these ideas, because it then lifts you up. You can be sitting in the background and just watching this and then think about how it affects you and how you feel and what you're going to do. But we always talk about speak it out loud and the powerful nature of this. And I know the more comments we get, probably the more visibility we get on Facebook, but it's more about you guys. If you can actually start commenting, thinking, whatever you're thinking about in that situation, whether it's positive or negative, put it out there because it might actually help you down the track. We want you to talk out loud like we are. This, like Tony has said previously, and I've said previously in the past, it helps us probably more than you guys. So if you guys want to be helped as much as we are helped through this situation, start commenting, start liking, start responding and interacting with other people on this, who are commenting below. Start engaging yourself in these activities, which is really powerful. It's part of the doing process. People don't realize that putting comments, putting feedback in there will help you so much and will create some awareness about who you are and what you're doing as well. Start to putting yourself out there in situations. People know more about what you do, who you are, and then they want to spend more time with you or want to do business with you or want to interact with you on a social level. And then you start understanding who are those like-minded people more that you are within your tribe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But you've got to put yourself out there to figure it out. A lot of people try and solve it in their head and go, oh, I'm not sure. I don't know what. And I actually had another conversation early this week. It was last week. It was with a young guy. It was a young guy. It was a son of one of my clients. And I said to him, what you want to do is you just want to try heaps of stuff. Treat it like a buffet. So you go to a buffet and there's about 50 different plates of food there. And some of the food is going to taste like shit and you're going to spit it out. And other foods is going to be absolutely gorgeous and you're going to want to double, triple down on that. And so it's about treat all this like a buffet. Test. Try things. Meet new people. Some people you like, some people you won't. That's cool. But you've got to put yourself out there as opposed to sitting back and doing nothing. And again, it brings us back to our topic, which is we know what we should be doing, but we just aren't doing it.
Absolutely. A lot of likes coming on through right now as well. Ken Murray says, I wanted an ice cream vans to keep me off the sauce on weekends. The alcohol is referring to Tony.
I understand. Yeah.
And John says Tony's brought his cheer squad with him, which is awesome. It's got a lot of birds in the background there. It seems like there's different species.
So I tell you what I've got up here. Like I don't know if you've noticed, but
I'm waiting for him to get shit on. So he has
No, I won't get shit on. So there's no unless it comes through on the comments here. But I won't get shit on from here because there's a little opening. But here's the thing: I've got crows, I've got kookaburras, and I've got magpies, and they are just honestly circling and just thinking, who is this random in the middle of our territory? So at any moment,
you are the bird whisperer.
I'm like Dr. Doolittle, right? Yeah, and so at any moment, live on TV, I could get swept.
All right, anyway. Tony Gallagher says the feedback, the comments create synergy. Awesome. Love that. Sean says, thanks, guys. John says, I'm just about to start a 15-minute a day, 66 days AWE experience. I'm scared no one will join me, but I'm doing it for myself either way. So this is a powerful, so he's going on the back. He's been doing the sit-up challenge, second round of it. He's created his own 66 days, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. Scared that no other people will join him. Yes, that's a fear, but he's not being, there's an awareness around it, Tony. Maybe you want to add to this, but he's not allowing it to stop him. So do it for yourself, then maybe other people will get on the back of it. And look, John, if you think and reflect on the journey that I've come with the 66-day challenge on sit-ups, that didn't start with a 66-day sit-up challenge. That started 1,000 days before on people reflecting about me running. So that wasn't something that I created overnight. And it was actually something that came from someone else. So that's the big thing. It wasn't an immediate. You've just started with this 66-day challenge. Does it mean that maybe in another 1,000 days when you create another challenge, you'll have a whole bunch of people come on the back of that because of what you created today. That's
Yeah, but you touched on it beautifully, Luke, and that is that, John, do it for yourself, mate. So here's the thing. You can't control, right, if anyone is going to join you. Maybe no one does, right? But here's the thing. You do it for yourself. I talked about it 10 minutes ago, and Luke just summed it up beautifully. Why? Why are you doing it in the first place? Be deeply connected to that. Do it for yourself, because here's what will happen. So now, like Luke said, he's gone and done his 1,000 days, and a few weeks ago when we had the celebration, all of us, yours, me as well, we got out there and we did the run with him in celebration. But he started off just doing one day and a second day and a third day. He had no sort of foresight around 1,000 days. So do things for yourself. In fact, I had a lot of conversations with clients this week. Another one was around that this particular client has her whole emotional state on things that are beyond her control. I've got to say, that is such a dangerous place to live your life. And so this is about, again, awareness of knowing that what is it that can I control? So, John, let's use you as an example. You can control if you get up and do what you want to do for 66 days. That is 100% you. What you can't control, if anyone joins in, you can't control if anyone congratulates you, you can't control if anyone criticizes you. You've got no control over any of that. So do the thing that you know that you need to be doing. That is the opportunity for each and every one of us, is control what sits within our control, as opposed to worrying about what others are going to do or say or think.
John says another fear that is replicating or copying others with this. Really interesting. The stuff that we come up with is a copy of Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Earl Nightingale. You become what you think about. We've used these quotes on an ongoing basis, John. That's everything. The message. We are saying the same stuff.
Everything.
The stories about our own experiences to you, so you hear what others are going through. This is an ongoing basis, John, that we reflect on. So understand that. We can say it, but whether you understand it is a big reflection. Tony?
Everything that we say has come from somewhere. Right, it's come from somewhere. But what you do is you take the bits from all over the place, you mix it up in your own way, and then you regurgitate it back out to the world in your own way, your own, through your own experiences. You put your little flavour on it, your little spin on it. But all of the things have come from somewhere, right? Napoleon Hill wrote the book Think and Grow Rich about 85 odd years ago. So many people in the personal development space have gone and simply taken elements of that book and are applying it now in 2020. And here's the thing, they'll be doing it in 120 and 220 and whatever it might be. So I wouldn't get worried about any of that stuff. I'd be focusing on you, again, doing it for your reasons. The reason why it's 66 days is because it's scientific proof that that's how long it takes to form a habit. So, mate, there's evidence to say that...
didn't come up with it. So
no, I didn't make it up at all.
Just realize that these sort of things are happening. And he actually says, cheers, fellas, for the confidence building and clarifying why I need to. It's for him, which is really important. So
can I just finish off? And this is, again, the whole purpose of this morning, right? So, yes, there's all this knowledge. And we've heard from that person and whatnot. But here's the thing. We're just not doing it. That's the thing. Doesn't matter where the knowledge comes from. Who really cares? It's about applying the things that you know. That is it. That is the essence of success right there. It's about applying all of those things. So it's not about where the knowledge comes from. Who cares? It's good knowledge, whatever.
There's a movie called Go. And it's that one word, go. Now, there's explicit things that go on in that movie, but that word, it's just like, do, go, be.
The night slogan, just do it, just do it. All those types of things. It's all about
so
just
powerful.
Yeah.
2 letters can be so powerful to your mindset, and that's what we want to instill. Christine says, "Hi John, can't do the sit-up challenge now for health reasons, but I would like to join the self-awareness challenge. I think it'd be a great idea."
Right.
So, there you go.
There you go. You can do 66 days of self-awareness, right?
This is what it's all about, like putting yourself out there. He just put himself out there in this environment, and then on the back of that, bang. And I know that I've been in seminars previously where I have had issues trying to create something in property for myself. The best thing I ever did was raise my hand, be vulnerable as ever, and it was actually only because, I will say this and admit this, someone else did the same. Then I go, well, if they're doing it, I can do the same. So I actually put up my hand and go, I've been trying to do this and I'm struggling. Someone came up to me after the meeting. We've now done 16 deals together. Now,
there you go.
That is a result of putting my hand up like John has today and saying, you know, I need help. I've got a problem. I'm reaching out.
Because what could have easily happened, which I'm sure it did, there would have been plenty of people who sat back in the cheap seats and thought, oh, who is this dickhead? Honestly, why doesn't he know that stuff? You know, I'm being serious, right? There would have been an enormous number of people who would have said that, which goes back to the point that I said earlier. It's the fear of being criticised by others. So many people will sit on their hands, right? You know, who'd like to ask a question? And people go, they look around the room and, you know, they don't want to get anywhere near that particular question. Or who wants to be a volunteer? It's like, oh, don't pick me. But it's like you stuck your hand up, mate, which is awesome. And here's the thing. You don't know what's going to come at the end of that. But you said, you know what, I'm really struggling and I'm going to stick my hand up and I'm going to put myself out there. And you may have got criticised, right? But you look what happened. Some wonderful, wonderful things came of that, and all power to you for taking that one action.
Ask the questions. Our third point, Tony.
I've got no idea what it is.
What can we do to close the gap?
Yep.
So what are you doing more and more each day? And I guess it's not about closing the gap straight away. And then we talk about taking massive actions, but people that are struggling, have fears, have anxiety, have all these things that are holding them back. It's not about massive steps forward. Sometimes it's maybe taking those baby steps each and every day.
Why don't we use a different word? Why don't we call it reduce the gap? There you go. So we want to reduce the gap and we want to reduce it by one thing every day. And that's what it is. It's about understanding your why. I said that earlier. Get clear on what your what is. So what's my goal? What am I doing? And then it's about creating the steps between where your goal is and where you are today. And I call that's a gap. But for me, GAP is an acronym which stands for Goal Achievement Plan. I'm not in the business of setting goals. Yes, I set goals, but that's not where it stops. I'm in the business of achieving the things that I set. So it's a GAP is Goal Achievement Plan. That is the gap between where you want to be and where you are today. Now, if that's too big, break it down. If that's too big, break it down. If that's too big, break it down. Break it down, break it down, break it down into small bite-sized chunks and just do one thing. You know, we talk about from an exercise point of view, don't compare yourself to the guy on the other end of this interview who's run 1,010 or 20, whatever days it is, at 7K a day. Do not, right? Wherever you are, what did you do yesterday? And if you did 100 meters yesterday, here's what I want you to do today. I want you to go and do 150 meters. If you did 2 kilometers yesterday, I want you to do 2.2 kilometers today. Does that make sense? If you ran 3 times last week, why don't you aim for 4 times this week? Just incremental. That's how you have sustainable change, by just having small increments. And then over a period of time, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, 66 days, whatever it might be, you look back and you go, oh my gosh, in October, I started this thing and it's now Christmas 2020. I have come an amazing way. How would you like to be? Now let's do this little exercise. How would you like to be on December the 25th at Christmas, right? And you've started something now, and how will you feel at Christmas time when you've been walking consistently for those, what would that be, 60 or 70 odd days, 80 days maybe, or perhaps it doesn't have to be walking. It might be that you've made some sales calls. What would your business look like if you've made some sales calls? If you're in property, how many agents have you spoken to? Whatever it might be, if you gradually did one extra thing over the next 60, 70, 80 days, you are going to feel friggin' awesome on Christmas Day. I'll guarantee it.
Tony Gallagher says people turn up to events, but do they actually show up? Interesting.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. So they're physically there, but they're not there. Or what happens is, Tony, the other thing is that they go to the event and they get all juiced up and hyped up, right? So you go to a TR, Tony Robbins, or the other Tony as I refer to him. You go to a Tony Robbins event and you get juiced up for the 4 days. And then what happens is on the Monday after the event's finished, right, we have this massive low because we're not implementing the things that we learned. And now I'm not suggesting that you implement all of those on day one, because he just packs it with so much stuff. But you have to pick bits out and go, I'm going to start doing some things. I'm going to start progressing. So many people do courses, and it doesn't have to be personal development. I used to see it in corporate land. You'd go off and do a training course, and a week after the training course, everyone would be back to the bad habits.
Yeah, saw that in Tony Robbins events after that as well. Looking to take massive action and then do nothing, unfortunately. Gabby says, one of the best things I've learned to do is put my hand up. So powerful, so powerful. And, you know, she's a great advocate of this, putting herself out there and just saying yes, which is amazing. Christine says 10 weeks until Christmas.
10. So, thank you, Christine. Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
Days, you know, start it now, Pete. So that's what it's all about. Tony, I'm mindful of time. We've been going on over 50 minutes now, which has been great. A cracker topic about closing the gap between knowing and doing. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, so you talked about 2-letter words. Well, I'll give you a 2-letter word. Yours was go, right? So my 2-letter word is do.
I did say that. I said go, do, or be.
Well, go, do, or be. Well, there you go, right? So,
yeah.
So do. The 2-letter word that you don't want is no. There you go. That's the 2-letter word that you don't want.
How about this one? 2-letter word, up. On the way up.
Okay. That's my 2-letter word.
What Tony just gave me? A lot of donuts. A lot of donuts with like splashes of ice cream on top.
I was trying to think of a creative 2-letter word to come back with. That's all.
I know. Well,
okay was as good as it gets.
Christine says, and this is the final comment that we'll take in today. Unless you ask the question, it's always going to be no. We've talked about this on several occasions, guys. It's been a super duper session on this Sunday morning mindset session. I loved it. Plenty of comments, plenty of things for Tony and I to comment back on later on. Hopefully you have a great day wherever you are. Hopefully you've bounced out of the covers like the ones behind me. And hopefully you're enjoying your Sundays wherever you are. Both Tony and I are from Queensland. He's in Brisbane. I'm out in Toowoomba, but heading back to Brisbane later today. Guys, over and out. I'll see you soon. Talk to you. Bye.
Bye.